And put my eye drops in, players. Oh. I'm so teary. That was like my best impression of Erica Kirk. Freaking magical Monday, bro. That is the 1 minute alarm. What? It's 20 seconds off. What? Come on now. Eye drops. Glasses good. Recording. I got my water and my coffee. I left my freaking tea mug or whatever it is at the office. I guess on Thursday or Friday. I was so mad. I'm a routine guy. If you haven't figured that out yet, if you haven't figured it out, pop, pop, pop. We have a minute. We have a minute. A little bit of the Java. Mm. Got a couple things I got to order today. Make sure. Oh my gosh, we have a phenomenal day planned for you guys. What is that? That's it. Once that thing hits it, it's already 7 o'clock. We got to get started. Okay. 13 seconds. We'll wait until the official alarm goes and then we'll get started. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Mm. Well. Good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal on this channel is to really help you get 1% smarter by giving you daily tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Now, I know that you peeps are not here for me. You never are. You're here for the morning mark. Now, the thing is I can't see with those 3D glasses on. So Dad has got to put on these glasses. But the good news is no props. No props required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. That's right. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it don't matter. You pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now, mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. All right, your day's officially started. All right, my beautiful people. You drive, I dive, buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. All right, now, are you guys ready for Magical Monday? It's Magical Monday. Mm. Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Now, Justin, you know, bro, I'm going to need you to give me a little comment, thumbs up. Let me know. Let's go. That's my bro. Let's go. All right. Okay. Anytime Justin's on, bro, he is like he's that little voice in me that just makes me feel we're ready to roll. So glad he's on with us right now. Now, for our Magical Monday, it's Magical Monday. Nah. Let's jump into, before we get started, I need a quick Josh. Monday morning, Magical Monday, bro. I need the worst thing going on today being a cloud in the sky. That's why today's blue, playa. It reminds me of the sky. All right, are you guys ready for your Monday morning Josh video, JAWSH on TikTok? This guy will be your fave. Are you ready?
Dude, what is it about getting older that, like, soup kind of rips now, dude? Like, dude, just pulling out the cauldron and just bubbling and boiling away all day, dude. Soups are probably the closest we're ever gonna get to potions class, dude. November definitely kicks off soup season, dude. And like, you fire up that cauldron on a rainy, gloomy day like today, dude. Oh, it's gonna heat the soul, dog. Dude, what is it?
What'd you guys think, bro? Was that your best? Now, are you ready for the Monday dad joke of the week? And by the way, it's a good one. So I was actually I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I have a half brother and he's in the FBI, and we were actually talking last week, and he's like, "Dude, we just added um, a something to our top 10 list," and I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's like the 12-month calendar," and I'm like, "What?" You're not adding a person, you're adding a calendar. He goes, dude, what this calendar's done is unbelievable. And he tells me, and he's like, dude, its days are numbered. Its days are numbered. Come on, bro. Come on. You know you freaking remember. Here's our deal. We have a handshake agreement. If you learn something on the show or I make you laugh, you got to like and subscribe. It's that is the only form of currency or payment I require. If you learn or you laugh, you got to like and subscribe. Come on now. Now, are you guys ready for this day in history? Which I know you are because you're always ready for it. But get ready because today, being March 16th, well, you guys know it's when all business returns are due today. When I say business, I mean 1120, 1120 is right. So C Corp, S Corps, those type. Your typical Schedule C, 1040 type sole prop businesses, you know that's due a month from now. But today, being Monday, March 16th, is definitely the day that highlights resilience of the human spirit. It's also the day business returns are due. And here it is, from the birth of the American presidency to the first successful docking in space and the launch of the modern era of rocketry. All happened today. 1926, this day in history, the first liquid fueled rocket launch. Yes. Robert Goddard successfully launched the world's first liquid fueled rocket while it only flew for 2.5 seconds and reached an altitude of a whopping 41 feet. It was the Kitty Hawk of rocketry, proving that liquid propulsion was the key to reaching space. Shut up, bro. And then you watch like all of the SpaceX rockets and how they're so insanely finely tuned for which of like the nine has the nine boosters. And you can watch it when it took off and re-landed, and you can see how each booster literally does exactly what it needs to keep it for directional. It's insane to go from 41 feet by Robert Goddard to what you see SpaceX doing today, where freaking chopsticks are catching that crap as it re-enters. Like, huh? 1926. This is 2026. In 100 years, we went from launching it at 41 feet to catching them with chopsticks. I know, bro. 100 years that happened. This day in history, 1850, publication of the Scarlet Letter. Shut up, bro. Shut up. My Scarlet Letter. Today, bro, Nathaniel Hawthorne published his masterpiece today, while a literally milestone represents a breakthrough in the technology of storytelling, using psychological depth and symbolism to challenge the social and moral structures of the time. Boy, why do you think I have a Scarlet Letter M for moron? This came from the Scarlet Letter, and today was the actual like the day it was published. Come on, man, this is huge. Remember our deal: if you learn something or you laugh, you got to like and subscribe. What? Oh, no way, bro. This day, 1910, first airplane flight in Asia. Belgian pilot Baron de Caters made the first powered flight in Asia, taking off from the Taligung Club in Calcutta, now Kolkata, India. This was a massive milestone for global aviation logistics. And I always forget that India is a part of Asia because I just think Asia, like Japan, China, Taiwan, basic. Nobody thinks India as also Asia. And not only that, India is so enormous. It's like its own Asia. So very, very crazy. Major world events today, 1802, was the establishment of West Point. Uh huh. Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? You didn't. No, you didn't. And that's okay. What else is going on? Let's see. Interesting. West Point, Thomas Jefferson signed the Military Peace Establishment Act 1802, founding the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York. Remains one of the world's premier leadership and engineering institutes. 1751, today was the birth of James Madison, the fourth president of the father of the Constitution, was born today. The fourth president and the father of the Constitution, born today. His work in the Federalist Papers and the Bill of Rights created the legal framework for the American experiment, and that's what it was. And since 1776, we're going into this year is our 250th year in existence, and we've been rolling on this experiment for about 250 years, and it's proving pretty well. I don't, I mean, we're still here, so I guess it's going well. But until you get to 1,000 years, then that's typically how you can kind of gauge how things are working when it comes to countries and time. Like every 1,000 years is pretty good. Let's see, dude. This day in history, Nazi Germany rearms 1935 in a direct violation of the Treaty of Versailles. Adolf Hitler orders the rearmament of Germany and the reinstatement of military conscription, a critical step toward the outbreak of World War II. Famous birthdays: James Madison, we already discussed, primary architect of the Constitution and a titan of American political philosophy. Today, today, 100 years ago today, Jerry Lewis. You know, the comedian always did the Jerry Lewis Telethon, filmmaker known for his comedy. He was also a huge, he was big in philanthropy and humanitarian efforts. He would always go fly overseas and do comedy tours. But he ended up passing away from muscular dystrophy. So his last probably 10, 20 years was big on MD research. Who else has got a birthday? Anybody that we know of? Let's see. Don't see that. Today, space exploration in 1968, in 1966. Today, the Gemini 8, the first space docking. So astronauts Neil Armstrong and David Scott performed the first ever docking of two spacecraft in orbit, linking their Gemini capsule, not Google's Gemini, the OG Gemini capsule, with an agent target vehicle, a Gina, not agent. My mind's already thinking like AI, obviously. Although a thruster malfunction nearly ended in disaster, Armstrong's cool-headed piloting saved the mission and proved that lunar orbit docking was possible. I tell you, bro, by the time a pilot gets handpicked to fly a spacecraft, to even get your pilot's license, they do something called task saturation, where their job is to literally put your brain in meltdown with a flight instructor, so that way you learn how to navigate that. Because if your mind panics, you're dead. And so you will find over and over and over again that Neil Armstrong should have been dead a million times, but this dude was so insanely calm. And that's why a lot of times when you see interviews of these guys, you're like, okay, they just seem like they were robots. That's their temperament. That's their temperament. They were handpicked because for task saturation, the entire thing basically has to be basically malfunctioning. And the commander in chief is like, we got it, no big deal. What's the book say? Step one, okay, piece of cake. Let's take care of that. What's step two? Wah, 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 oh my God, oh no, we're all gonna die, blah blah blah. You're like, okay, no, but yeah, what's the next thing? What's the book say? Okay, let's not look outside and see the fire. What's the book say? What's next on the checklist? Right? That was our boy Neil Armstrong. What else happened on this date in history? 1978, the Amoco Cadiz oil spill, not the Valdez, it's the Amoco Cadiz. That was a supertanker ran aground off the coast of Brittany, France, resulting in one of the largest oil spills in history. This tragedy led to significant global shifts in maritime safety technology and environmental protection laws. And then it was like, what, 10 years later that the Valdez one happened and basically destroyed Alaska for how many couple decades? Like, yeah, that was like insane. Now, 2023, this day in history, Jupiter's moon count reaches 95. So it was around this time, 3 years ago, astronomers confirmed several new moons around Jupiter, bringing its total to 95 and furthering our technological map of the outer solar system. Now, are you guys ready for the fun fact today? Today is National Freedom of Information Day. That's right. Fittingly held on James Madison's birthday, it's a day to celebrate transparency and the public's right to access government data, a principle that aligns with your own work, ensuring accuracy in historical and legal declarations. That is National Freedom of Information Day. And wouldn't you guys understand that this year, 2026, is the year of the Great Awakening? Yes, this is the worldwide freedom. This is like our freedom national worldwide freedom of information year. That's what 2026 is, man. Everybody, all the independent journalists, everybody, bro. And the entire world is melting down because everybody's losing control. Those in power that have all the power are freaking out because they're losing all their power. And they've had the power for decades, and the people are revolting. And you're starting to see it everywhere around the world, man. Everywhere. People are sick and tired of being suppressed. People are sick and tired of not having a transparent government. People are sick and tired of electing individuals that do not do what the elected people are asking to do. And that, my beautiful peeps, is your day in his style rate. And you guys know our deal. Handshake agreement. This dude says, I will show up every day, most days actually, and I have only two rules with today's show. One, you laugh, and two, you learn. And if I do either of those for you, our agreement is you like and subscribe. That's it. I don't want you to send me any money, none of that. Just do me a like and subscribe. That's it. And a little L and S, a little LS. That's it. That's it. All right. Okay, guys. Now, are you guys ready for? I know you are. You are ready. You're ready for our juicy news, aren't you? Oh my gosh. Juicy news. Juicy news. Juicy news. All right. I know I'm usually done with that sipping on my Tulsi tea. The problem is my Tulsi tea mug that you always see every day. It's purple. Looks like this. Okay. I'm sipping all the time on it. It's at the office. I left there on Friday. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, and I am a moron. That's right. I get to be the first one today to wear my scarlet letter M for moron because I left my tea container at the office, and it really infuriates me. All right. Now, let's roll, shall we? Okay. Now, this day, remember, when we talk about our mom and pop Venti shop daily briefing, you guys know that I talk specifically about today, and everything we talk about is always up to date. So today being Monday, March 16th, so everything we talk about, we pulled from the last few days around the world, around the web, that's specifically for us, mom and pop Venti shops. Now, let's see, what is the top story? All right, listen to this, man. Here it is. AI search leakage costing local shops 58% of clicks. What? What? Here's the story. New data released today, March 16th, shows that Google's AI overviews are now appearing on 13% of all searches, which is true, quietly diverting up to 58% of clicks away from top-ranking local business pages. Small businesses that rely on organic leads are seeing phones stop ringing as AI answers users' queries directly on the search page. So why it matters to us mom pop Venti shops? Your SEO strategy is likely going obsolete. Okay, so to survive, local shops have to pivot to zero-click optimization. So we have to ensure our Google Business Profile pages are robust and our data is machine readable, so AI agents mention us by name even when users don't click through our website. This is going to be huge for us, man. That's why everything I do is on YouTube. I do it on purpose because I know. And for me, out of the big AIs that I use, the first and probably the one that has the most data on me is Chat. But Gemini is used daily, which is Google's. Grok daily, which is X's, basically it's Elon's. And then Claude, which is Anthropic. And those are the biggies, man. And if you have to learn, and there's certain ways to code your site. And by the way, everything that we talk about here, if you are a mom pop Venti shop, you individually have to spin the 7 plates of business. You have to spin all 7 plates yourself. Okay, so when we talk about, yes, thank you, Charlie. So when we talk about this, you guys will have questions, and that's okay because there's actually a couple ways to get directly to us. Number one, you actually go to accountingplusaccountability.com. And when you go there, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner is a little gold button that says talk with Ron. You know that's me, right? I can see you, Charlie. Yes, I don't have a call-in number, but I'm telling you, you can go to Accounting Plus Accountability to schedule a time to chat with me directly. And it links directly in my calendar. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about, including how do we re-engineer this? And this is what we do for our business owners. So The 7 plates of business, you understand that you as an owner or high capacity individual has to spend basically all 7 of these plates. Plate one is the trade. Plate two is the accounting. Plate three is sales and marketing. Plate four is HR. Plate five is customer service. Plate six is logistics. Plate seven is IT. So we at the firm, we really are your small business full service back office company. So starting with plate number two, which is the accounting plate. Universally, it's the one plate all owners need spending. And so I don't think you can see me. If you see this, please type 888. Yes, I see you, and you should be able to hear me. So, but the really cool thing about this is we partner with our entrepreneurs to do that. So that way, if there is something they have questions about, look, we will help you spend 6 of the 7 plates. You, as the owner, always have to spend plate one, which is to trade. And you'll spend 20 years trying to spend that one plate, and it still won't spin. All right. So the other 6 plates will help you spin, starting with the accounting plate. And this is a big one. We spend half of our time just doing ministerial, administrative paperwork for you guys. That's what we do as a firm. So a lot of this stuff is like, how do I do this with my website? Schedule a call with me. Or when you go to Accounting Plus Accountability, scroll down a little bit and you'll see the button that says Ask a Question. It'll take you to a site to type in a question, and I'll reply back directly or even read it on the air. So if you guys want to get to us, Accounting Plus Accountability, you always know how to get to us. You can schedule a call directly with me, talk with AA Ron, or scroll a little bit and ask a question. But this is a big, big story. What else is happening in the news today? Biggie here. Credit markets thaw. Fewer owners reporting high interest rates. Yeah, bro. You remember about a month or two ago, the big thing was credit card companies capping their interest at 10%. And what did Trump say? You better figure it out, or I'm going to do it for you. And what are you starting to see now? Yep, they're fixing it. So the latest NFIB data indicates a turning point for small borrowers. Our net negative 6% of owners reported paying higher interest rates on their most recent loans in early 2026. This is a 3-point drop from the end of last year, suggesting local lenders are finally beginning to lower the cost of capital, which means 3-point drop, that's 9 points, right? That's literally a that's a 30%. It's a 30% decrease in owners saying that they're being charged outrageous. That's pretty large, man. That was Q4 to Q1. That's a big deal, man. That's a real big deal. What else is going on in the news today? SBA, citizens only lending ban, fully enforced as of today. So, you guys know I've been talking about it now for about a month. Every week we talk about this. As of today, March 16th, the SBA's new mandate is in full force across all platforms. And it makes sense why, because literally today is basically the last day for business returns. It's days when they're all due. So it makes sense why they would put it in place today. And so, but this includes all programs, the 7A, 504, the surety bond, microloan programs, all these programs. Now the policies require 100% of the owners, direct or indirect owners, to be U.S. citizens or nationals. No more green cards. Nope. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody that's holding a green card can't get a loan. You just can't from the SBA. And so it's kind of really it's a hard no for immigrants, immigrant owned businesses. But the deal is for those that aren't, you've been locked out of getting funding that should have been accessible to us for decades, and it hasn't been. And now it is. So it fully expect it. And by the way, you guys know we've also been talking about how in the last couple of weeks, the SBA is now, not the SBA, the Treasury, it's basically the government is now giving local banks a 25% basically tax credit, income credit for any small business they loan money to. The first 25% of the interest they make is tax free. They don't claim it. They're actually now, Uncle Sam is now incentivizing local small business to do this, right? Local small business or local small banks, community banks, to loan specifically to us. They're actually incentivizing them to loan to mom and pop venti shops, specifically through what they call their Section 139L. I think that's what it is, right? Let me just make sure I wrote it down because I was like, yes. Yes, 179L. Yes. Okay. So, big news for us. What else is going on in the? Oh, shut up, dude. What? Did you guys know this? 3,800 meatpacking workers strike today. Supply chain squeeze expected. So the story is nearly 4,000 workers at one of the nation's largest meat processing plants in Greenlee, Colorado, began a strike this morning, March 16th. The walkout is expected to disrupt regional beef and pork supplies as the union pushes for higher wages in the wake of the new OBBBA tax change laws, right? But why it matters to us, obviously, local butchers and independent grocers should prepare for price volatility. Expect a 10 to 15% scarcity surcharge on wholesale meat orders this week, which means lock in your inventory now or pivot your weekend specials to poultry or fish to preserve those margins. Because you guys know, for all of our mom and pop restaurants, you guys know in the last couple of weeks with Iran, you're expecting your distributors to start charging a higher delivery fee. They're going to increase that because the cost of gas is increased. And now, because of this, expect your proteins, right? So your beefs and your poultry and your let's see, the beef and the pork. I couldn't think of the other. I was like, poultry? No, it's pork. But the beef and the pork, if you've got, hold off until this thing rectifies, or you're going to pay. Most of your profit will disappear if you order during the spike. Okay, so this is just a little warning to you, mom pop restaurant owners, little venti shops. You guys know, hold out, let this thing reset. Let it reset. Okay, and by the way, if you guys have questions about any of this stuff, you can go to accountingplusaccountability.com. We're the only accounting firm on earth that, yes, prioritizes all of the expenses and that you did yesterday, and make sure they're by the book for the federal, state, and local revenue collecting agency. But we also partner with you to make sure that you are profitable tomorrow, next month, next year, because our strategy for almost 60 years has been pretty simple. The only way that we're going to be here 20 years from now is to make sure that you're still here 20 years from now. You come first. That's right. And if you have any questions for us about what we're talking about here, you want to ask a question, you want to talk directly with me about business consulting strategy, whatever, or, hey, Ron, I got questions about this paperwork or whatever it is, just go to accountingplusaccountability.com. You'll see in the upper right-hand corner is a little gold button that says talk with Ron. That be this dude. Yep, you'll talk directly with me. It links directly to my calendar. If you see that time scheduled, you'll get the confirmation email from the system, and I will call you exactly at that time that we have scheduled. And but anyway, talk anything we want to talk about here. Okay. What else is going on in the news today? Are you guys feeling this? Are feeling pretty excited? Like, I know it's a magical Monday, and it's always really a busy day because I usually it basically pulls Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday news in with it. And so, and of course, today being, business tax return day. So it's an overall busy day as it is. But let's see here. No way. This is a positive story of AI doing some good here. So AI integration slashes food waste and recovers 13,000 pounds for local grocers. So a new case study for March of 2026 shows that independent grocers using AI-powered reduce to clear apps have boosted their sell-through rates from 30 to 57% by making reduced price products instantly visible to shoppers in real time. One small 7-store group recovered over 13,000 lost revenue in under 10 months. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take this story, okay, and I'm going to put it here in the Gemini. I'm going to say, hey, what are the top 3 apps to use for mom and pop venti shops regarding this article? Okay. And so let's just see. And then I'm going to say, and make your recommendation of which one you feel is best for ease of use and pricing, because that's all we care about. Is it easy and is it cheap? Oh, and reliable and dependable. Okay, let's just see, bro. Let's just see. Here's what it's saying. Choosing the right tool depends on the specific operational goals, whether you want to passively sell surplus, drive foot traffic with real-time markdowns, or fully automate your pricing using AI. So, best for too good to go. So this is a passive revenue from like mystery bags. Um, Gander. Let's see. It's actually there's three apps: Too Good to Go, Gander, or Wasteless. So Too Good to Go is best for passive revenue from mystery bags. Okay. Gander is best for driving foot traffic for cleared items, and Wasteless is best for maximizing margins via AI pricing. Shut up, bro. This is fantastic. So really, kind of best all around is the Too Good to Go for ease of use, pricing, and reliability. It's a plug and play solution. You don't need to sync your inventory to have a high tech team. You simply decide how many surprise bags you have at the end of the day, and the app handles the rest. Pricing, no upfront costs. With Too Good to Go, they typically charge a small annual admin fee, around $39, which is deducted from your sales, meaning the app pays for itself. Reliability, largest platform of its kind with over 90 million users. For a small shop, the reliability of the customer base is its biggest asset. 76% of users who find a shop through the app return as full paying regulars. Shut the front door. If you're a mom pop brick and mortar shop, playa, you got to be implementing this. And by the way, if you need help with any of this crap, we got you. Okay. We can definitely take care and help you with all this stuff. Okay. And also, if you want a really good point of sale software, I always, because it's the short is POS, but most of us know POS is something else. And so this is point of sale. But there's one called Checkmate and it's phenomenal for inventory software. Insanely reliable, one-time purchase, no subscriptions, thank God. But it handles up to 48,000 products. Okay. Specifically designed for small retail and grocery environments. Okay. So offers real-time profit margin visibility so you know exactly where you are on your items and which ones need to be marked down. You can see it all. Okay. So, and you guys know everything we talk about here, okay, is designed where you guys can take this and apply it straight into your bizzo. Okay. So, hopefully you guys are getting value out of this, and you guys know everything we talk about here. If you have questions about anything, go to accountingplusaccountability.com, and you'll get directly to us. In the upper right-hand corner is a little gold button that says "Talk with Aaron." That's me, playa. That's me. So you always talk directly with me, and we'll talk about anything. And if you want to scroll down and ask a question, we can talk about strategy, consulting in person, or if you want to ask a question, scroll down a little bit and you'll see a little button there that says ask question, and it takes you to a different site, but just submit your question. It gets right to me. I'll reply directly or read it on the air. Okay, so this is a very interactive show with you guys. Always interested in the big the trends, the questions going on. I read that stuff every single week. So we talk about it. I read it every week. What else is going on in the news today? Bro, there is so much for us to talk about. Really? Okay, listen to this. The U.S. 127, this is a U.S. Highway 127 rebuild project begins. Local trade corridor delays. So the story, a massive highway reconstruction project on U.S. 127, a critical local and national trade corridor officially begins today, March 16th. The project, which includes ramp closures and single lane restrictions, is expected to last through mid-2026. So would you like to know who this is going to affect? I would. It'd be great if in the story it actually said that. What states and areas is this story affecting? Bam. Let's see. About to find out. U.S. 127 rebuild project affecting the mid-Michigan region, primarily within Ingham and Clinton counties. Yep, affecting mid-Michigan. Oh, playa. Is that Detroit? I don't know, but man, the primary corridor reconstruction is centered on US 127 between I-96 and I-496. That to me is a freeway plus the loop. And Ingham extending north toward the I-69 interchange in Clinton County. Yep. What else is going on in the news today? Universal Commerce Protocol, UCP, launches for Main Street Bizzo. Here's this dude. I swear, bro, Google is, they are murdering everything in AI. Murdering. Oh my gosh, them and Claude are just ridiculous. Google quietly introduced the Universal Commerce Protocol as an open source standard for 2026. It allows a small shop's back end inventory cart checkout to connect securely to any AI interface from Gemini to voice assistants using a single language. Why this is a big deal is this kills the walled garden problem. You no longer have to pay massive fees to be integrated with every new shopping app. If your POS, point of sale software, supports UCP, your product can theoretically be sold through any AI device in the world, putting you on the same digital shelf as the giants. What? What? It's true, playa. It's true. Is this not crazy, man? This is, it's amazing because what you're starting to see every day is this concept that this has always been. You want to know the difference between like great large business and great small business, right? The big difference there is what we call market, MRKT. MRKT. M is money, okay. R is resources, and that's the people, just access to all the resources. K is knowledge and training, and then T is technology. And what you're starting to see today is tech companies starting to make tech that the big boys use, but making it for the little boys, the little co, not big co, but little co. This is huge for us because in the end, the only way that we survive is we've got to level the playing field. It doesn't mean that we don't want the McDonald's or the Subway. No, we're fine with all that. But there should be space for us too. Like there should be this concept that if you have an idea that you want to have the best damn sandwich shop in town, that there should not ever be this thought in your mind that it's not if, but when you go out of business, because eventually you're going to be priced out of business where you won't be able to compete with a Panera or La Madeline. It's not okay. I don't know. It's not okay. Okay. So anytime we hear stories about this where they're kind of leveling the playing field, this is big for us, bro. This is huge for us mom pop venti shops. And by the way, you have any questions about this stuff? You can always get directly to us at accountingplusaccountability.com. Schedule a time to talk with me about anything, man. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. In the upper right-hand corner is a little button there that says Talk with AA Ron. That's me. And if you're lucky, I'll have Balake and Denise on. Nah, not Denise. D Nice. That's right. I was trying to catch you. If you knew, you knew. You know. What's Candace always say? You know. Okay. So there will be no Denise's on, but there might be a D Nice. There will definitely be a Balake, and there will definitely be an AA Ron. Okay. So, but I'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. Let's do some strategy. Let's do some consulting. Let's talk about some of the SBA paperwork that's got to be completed, how we need to do it. You have a business idea that you've had for a couple years, you don't know how to start it. You guys know that every Tuesday, so tomorrow, is Tactical Tuesday, and I build you a zero to cash flow business plan, and I give you the printable PDF in the notes every week, and we start a service business every single week for under $1,000, and I give you the exact plan. So you can go to my last couple, and you know every day I wear a different shirt for a different day. So if you're ever looking at my videos and you're like, he's wearing blue, that's Magical Monday. If you see AA Ron wearing green, you know that's Tactical Tuesday. If you see this dude wearing gray, that's because it's Wasabi Wednesday. And that's because, like wasabi, it's a spicy day, meaning I tear apart all the TMZ. I tear apart all the gossip of celebrities, athletes, famous people, everybody. And we talk about it on Wasabi Wednesday. And we all know when it comes to that gossip, it ain't black and white. It always 50 shades of gray. Come on now. So you see me wearing gray, you know it's Wasabi Wednesday, which means we faux show talking about my housewives of Beverly Hills. My HOBH. Yes. Wait, what is it? Housewives of Beverly Hills, right? My hoes of BH. We're definitely discussed every single Wednesday. Thursday is always purple. Treat yourself Thursday. That day, we'll have a little cool little gadget you can get for 20, 30 bucks. It will for sure guarantee to make your life at least 1% better. But it's your day. And that's the day you get a massage. You know, we spend every waking second as a mom pop venti shop thinking of every human being other than ourselves. So treat yourself Thursday is your day. That's right. And then Friday, you'll always see me wearing in red because it's Good Friday. That is the day of kindness, love, gratitude, Thanksgiving, that's always on a Friday. So tomorrow is Tactical Tuesday, and we will tear down a business. Okay. So if you have questions about that or a business like, hey, Ron, I don't know how to do this, bro. I've had this crazy ass idea for a business. Bro, here's how you get to us: accountingplusaccountability.com. Schedule a time to talk with AA Ron. Okay. Upper right hand corner, a gold button, or scroll down a little bit and you'll see ask a question. It takes you to a different website. Ask the question, gets right to me. I'll reply back or read it on the air. Okay. So, and we'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. But hopefully, this is giving you guys some encouragement, man. All right. All right. You ready for some more? I told you Monday is so heavy on Newsday. It's so heavy on Newsday. Okay. But let's see what else is going on in the news today. Well, we've already talked, obviously, about our 1065 1120s due today, players. Okay. Obviously, you guys know you can get your extension in. We've got to file that form 7004. Okay. But here's the deal: if you owe money, make sure the payment goes with it. Okay. Now, don't forget, there, you guys, if you're trying to get to the IRS or whatever, this is just a bad time. They've already reduced staff big time. Now, luckily, because of some really, really smart people, they are putting AI and tech in place to minimize a lot of this stuff, which is freaking amazing. But what else is going on in the news? Dude, this happened to us yesterday. Severe storms and tornado risk force many shops to close or prep for power outages. So this was the Governor Moore declared state of preparedness, Mid Atlantic to the Carolinas under rare high risk for damaging winds. This hit us yesterday, bro. Like the temperature went from, I'm not kidding you, 75 to 32 degrees this morning. I mean, that is a little unusual for Texas, but not too unusual to have a 50-point drop. 30-point drops are really normal, but they're also like when you go to deserty climates like California, 50-point drops on a daily are like normal. Okay. So, but that happened. And man, but the thing was, it was insano windy. And so I fully anticipate as this storm blows its way to the northeast, it's going to destroy. Dude, our power was out for hours yesterday. And it wasn't like it was pouring rain or anything. The wind was that bad. I don't know what it seemed like a transformer blew. But be prepared for you guys. The storm is coming, man. And it looks like Governor Moore's already declared a state of preparedness, not emergency, but preparedness, making sure the whole state is preparing for what's coming. And my sis, bro, she is fantastic, dude. But she is a director of assisted livings, and she's actually up in. She lives in South Carolina, but she is a director of a facility in North Carolina. I think it's maybe about 45 minutes away. But every time, but hurricanes, whatever, she's like, I'm just staying there for the weekend. I don't even go home. I just stay there for the weekend. I'm like, bro, to do what she does, bro, requires a very, very special, unique type of person. But what else is going on in the news today? Huh? 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 Uh, oh, shut up. We already knew this. The DOE, which I'm just assuming means Department of Energy, announces record high fuel prices effective this week. Delivery and commute costs will spike. I told you these guys before. If you look at the pie chart of our businesses, right? So a third of the pie chart is going to be the mom and pop restaurants. A third will be the mom and pop garages, the shops, the mechanics, the transmission shops, the engine shops, blah, blah, blah. And then a third is everybody else, okay, which is literally everybody else. If you a mom and pop venti shop, we got you, playa. But all the restaurants and the mechanics will be getting trip delivery fee increases because these companies will not eat that. They will pass that to you because these companies are not in the business of losing money. So they're going to pass that to you, the mom pop venti shop, who, unfortunately, because we have no economies of scale and we have to spend all 7 plates of business ourselves, we unfortunately do have to pay and eat this, and usually it costs us money. So a big reason why I talk about this a lot is to make sure that you are prepared as an owner to ensure that if we've got inventory, let's just wait until we see fuel go down a little bit. It's for sure. I noticed immediately a 50 to 75% per gallon spike in the Midwest, literally going from 249 to 349. Yeah, I mean, I paid $1 more compared to, I don't know, just a couple weeks. Matter of fact, you guys know I try really hard to make sure you guys don't see my illness of OCD, but you're about to see because I document basically everything. So fuel log. Here's my fuel log. I can tell you right now. Let me go back 1 month. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this is 3/13. I'm going to go back to let's go back to February. February. I did the last week of February. My fuel price was $2.79. Now, in all fairness, I was at Walmart, which means I saved 10 cents, which means if there'd be $2.17 if it wasn't, but 217 or excuse me, 2.079. So basically just $2.08. Okay. That was the February 24th. Okay. So less than a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And then I filled up a couple days ago, 349. Buck and a half. That's almost a 100% increase. It's a 75% increase in fuel costs. So you as a mom and pop venti shop will definitely be having to pay for that. Definitely. So be careful, guys. You guys that own the garages that always have O'Reilly's delivering for you all day. They will increase the trip charge. They have to. I don't care until they start driving around electric cars all day where it doesn't really cost them anything. Then you're kind of out of luck. You have to pay for it. You got to eat it, and you will have to eat it. So if you guys can, think about doing temporary fee increases or adding a fee temporarily to offset, or just be prepared. You're going to be losing profit. Okay, it's a big deal. What else is going on in the news today? Let's see. What? Indiana Snap retailers hit with sugary drink candy ban confusion. Lawsuit has been filed. So here's the story. The new state rule bans certain items from Snap. Doy. Rebecca and I have been married for 30 years. Okay. In the first 5 years of marriage, I don't know. I think it was like we were 20. She was 19, 20-ish when we got married. And so and the first 5 years, there was about a year or two that we actually were on what back then we called them food stamps. And it covered only the main stuff. Basically anything that was on that food pyramid, right? So bread, grain, so probably some basic cereals, not the sugary crap. Without question, zero sodas, zero drinks, zero, other than milk, milk. Okay, your cheeses, your proteins. That was basically it. Today, literally, the stuff that we were forced and could only buy, nobody uses that for today. Yeah, man. I mean, you want to know why some of these big food companies have been profitable? It's because they have lobbied and got their products to be approved by SNAP. And so sodas and candy bars, and it's insane how much money that they make because of SNAP. And they engineer their stuff to be addictive, and they remove all fiber. So you keep wanting more of it and you don't get full. It is just, in my opinion, I watched this years ago. We've been a big animal family. We have no animals right now, which has actually been amazing. It's the first time in our entire life we've never had animals. Individually, like as kids, all the way through adulthood, we've always had animals. And I remember this is about, I don't know, a year or two ago. We were house sitting for friends of ours, and they were out of town, and they had a couple of great cats. And they had like very generic cat food. And they actually they said, they've got we've got this high end stuff, but they said, hey, we've got this stuff we bought. If you guys want it for your cats, and I'm like, oh, you know what, we'll take it. And I tried it for like about 3 or 4 days, okay, but I couldn't understand what was going on because my cats whatever I put in there, they would fully devour, and they would literally sit by the bowl waiting for more, and they would beg all day for more food. And now understand, before that, we always did like just the basic chicken and rice crap. Like it's still buy in the bag, but it's like the stuff that has none of that stuff in it. So the cats eat, but it takes them like all day. They just graze, like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me go get a couple little pieces because it's not addictive. I watched this, and it's most of the stuff that you buy in like Walmart and the big retailers. That food for the animals is addictive in nature, and that's why so many of the animals are obese, because the food that they make is addictive. They make the same type of food for us. They do. And it's wrapped in aluminum cans, disguised as dark sugary water. It's wrapped in dark little plastic little wrappings with chocolate and candy and peanuts and caramel. Yeah, it's designed to make us fat. And whenever I hear this, that there's lawsuits happening and they're trying to remove it, this is huge, man. But why it's a big deal? Because lost snap volume, 10 to 20% revenue drop for many independents. Audit, what is it? Eligible SKUs today. So yeah, so what this is basically saying is this is a big nightmare, not really for the big boys, but for the little guys. It's always the little mom and pop venti shops that always have to pay for this. Always. Okay. But what else is going on in the news? I told you, man. Monday, it's a big news day. And you know what? Thank you guys for hanging out with me this whole time. Like, I know you got the purpose of today is listen to me for 15, 20 minutes as you're heading into work. Let me just kind of help give you a little bit of inspiration, some encouragement. You're going to learn something. You will laugh a little. Okay. And you guys remember, that's always our agreement. Handshake agreement. Okay. Right? If you learn something and I make you laugh, you got to like and subscribe. That's the only agreement. It's the only form of compensation Ron requires. And by the way, anything that we talked about here, if you have questions about it, look, man, we got you taken care of. Okay. You can always get to us with accounting at the website, accountingplusaccountability.com. We're the only accounting firm on earth that spends as much time focusing on your future and your profit and your success as we do on documenting your transactions properly. Yeah, we joke that, matter of fact, if you go to Accounting Plus Accountability, you'll see this mug with a quote. And the quote says, when you're interviewing a firm, you can either partner with a firm that obsesses over your business as much as you do, or you can just go hire an accountant. Your choice. Oh, come on, play it. That basically tells you everything you need to know. But again, we've been doing this for almost 60 years, and our philosophy for literally 60 years has been the same thing. The only way we will be here 20 years from now is to make sure that you still here 20 years from now. You come first. You are the sun, and we just rotate around you. It's your universe. We're just a part of your universe. And it's done us really well for almost 60 years, obviously. If you have any questions, Accounting Plus Accountability, speak directly with me, ask a question. But I think if you guys have any questions, you want to talk about businesses, strategy, consulting, whatever, that's how you get to us, always and forever. Okay. What else is going on in the news? Whoa. 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 Okay. Senate Small Business Liberation Bill seeks tariff exemptions and refunds. Act before vote. So the story: Democratic senators pushing carve outs and refunds for small importers. Small retailers already pay 10 to 15, at least 10% extra. Why it matters? Because you got to contact your senator today. There's via a one-click form. A win could drop your landed cost 8 to 15% on imported goods and unlock refunds already paid. And the story is in the Guardian. But I think this is good. But I'm also that dude that's always real leery of this because I already know that Mr. Orange Man is already looking to re-engineer the tariffs to assess them. So yes, there's this, I don't know, like this kind of pile of money that is sitting there, but not really, but kind of is, that you're like, oh, well, you guys can get some of your money back because this particular tariff we deemed illegal. Right. But what happens with the dude basically says, okay, well, we just took that tariff and assigned it underneath this thing, and it's 15%. So the refund that we just issued you, you now know because this has to be retro back to day one. So you have to pay it plus a penalty and interest. Huh? Huh? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm just not a big fan of taking refunds from Uncle Sam unless I know that the chance of that thing being recouped are like, if there's a law that basically says it can never be changed, we're paying this. Okay, cool. But like standard deductions, like it's always the same. Okay, fine. This is what it is. This is industry standard. Cool. But I'm just always leery of this. Oh yeah, apply for your money. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm wired. I grew up in Philly, man, And you have to understand, bro. Like when you grow up on the streets, you learn how to read situations real uniquely. And you also become obsessed with all your Phillies teams. Story labor safety roundtable plus multiple 3 to 5,000 grants are closing this month. So here's the story: SBA Advocacy Roundtable, March 20th. There's the Mona Impact Grant deadline today, the Outa Excuses March 31st deadline, and the OSHA MSHA input requested. Um, so basically, here's what this is: share your real world safety cost to shape future rules, and you can end up freeing. They basically talk about handing out, snagging free money for you for sharing your input. So you guys can go to advocacy.sba.gov and just kind of search for Small Business Labor Safety Roundtable, March 20th, and it should pull up for you, or just Google that, and it could pull right up for you guys. What you guys think about today? Today in the news. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you? Did you? I knew you would. Well, here's the dealio. This dude unfortunately has to check out a couple minutes early, so no reframe your brain or whiteboard lesson today. But I know that today, being the Magical Monday, was definitely the best Magical Monday that you have seen ever, right? But you guys know everything we talk about here. If you think it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right. Guys, don't just work in your business. Make sure you mind your own business. And all right, my beautiful people, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it? When this goes on, you know what time it is. It's time to get to work. Kapow!